Okay, hi back. Okay, let me set this up because I didn't before I hit the stream thing. The sizes are a little off, um, a little off still. Let me see. Okay, it's good now. So, um, I have to finish this thing. Yes or yes because I don't want to. I just want to finish the ficlet and post it. So, I did some things out of stream because otherwise I was not gonna finish. If you see everything that is in white is what I worked on previous streams. I'm sorry for my coughing. Um, Let me just take the music a little down. Okay. Um, okay, so that is what I did in my previous streams today. The thing that is in white, the thing that is in purple is the things that I wrote out of stream. And there's a bit here that is in orange that is something that I sort of rewrote, changed a thing here and there just a little bit to make it fit better. So I want to sort of explain a little bit of the choices I made and why I made them. um so here in this one I was first using past tense. I started using past tense as if you were remembering how this character that Maya was observant, that is Karina, obviously, how Karina was showing. Okay, so it was, I started with it was her puffy cheeks and how she had tried to hide them with makeup, and that was in the past. But then I realized that as I kept writing around here, I started noticing that it would have been better if I started like in present tense, as if she was looking at her um in that moment, as if she was witnessing that at the moment. So all of this is on the same day, and obviously I'm not describing every single bit of the day. There's a moment that Maya goes like in her own mind and in her own thoughts and how she processed a previous time, and then I go back to the night. I cut from the barn scene, the clinic scene, to at night when she goes to visit Maya. So okay, so I'm here and I had this thing. It said, I'm sorry. It's her puffy cheeks and how she has tried to hide them with makeup, how red they were. Um, is that her eyes can't open as big as usual and that she carries her smile with its sides pointing down. So I wanted to add a little bit more of description there. So I added this. You can see that tears have invaded her every day, drowning any other thoughts besides you. And I think that that is important because um, sadness is exactly that. I mean, when you're sad, when you're heartbroken, um, when I'm heartbroken, I cry a lot. It overwhelms me. I'm a big crier, so I cry a lot, and I usually I think that when you're this sad, when you're heartbroken, all your thoughts on what happened that made you heartbroken, uh, put all your other thoughts away. It takes everything else away, and just this sadness invades you. So for me, this was a nice touch to that, like to say that Karina tries to hide her pain, like her puffy cheeks. She hides with makeup, and that well, she cannot hide her eyes, her puffy eyes. But you notice that her eyes are puffy, and that's how you realize that her tears have invaded her. Her pain is inside her. So I put this before I wrote this, and she tries. Then I cut to this. She picks up the supplies, but I think that right in here, from here to here, there was a big chunk missing. Okay, so I wanted to go back and say, like, okay, uh, what is she doing before she gets to the station? And I was thinking, okay, she does her best to blend in with the people around her. So this is her way to the to the station, and basically is her having to get out of her hotel room and go down the elevator, and obviously meeting people there, and walking down um, the parking lot and getting into her car, and all of that involves passing through people that she doesn't want to appear sad, that she doesn't, that she's hiding the sadness, so she does her best to blend in. And then as she arrives in the station, is like, okay, she arrives at the station refraining from breaking down, and that is like I was imagining a moment in which she parks her car in the parking lot of the station, and she has to walk to the front door, and all that time that this is happening, I mean, this, I don't know, 3 minutes that it takes her to get out of her car and walk to the front door, she's trying not to cry because she knows that these people, first of all, remind her of Maya, and these people are gonna have questions for her, and she's hoping that that they don't ask anything. So she holds herself very strong not to break down. And when, as soon as she gets in the station, she says hello, but she doesn't say hello like talking. She says hello with a half smile and a nod. But she just nods because if she speaks, she probably will break up crying. So she hurries upstairs, and finally, when she's alone upstairs in that meeting room, in that room where they keep everything, um, is like, okay, she finally has a time to be alone, and she takes a big breath, like making herself strong, because this was really hard to do. I mean, to go back that day, that first day after everything happened, uh, was really hard. So she tries to build up some courage doing this. You know, she takes a deep breath when she's alone. And then it's like, I didn't want to go straight to this thing. Like, she picks up the supplies from the cabinet and heads down to the barn. No, I wanted to put a little bit of like doubting. So it's like, it's the way she thinks about leaving, that she can't do this, can do it, be there even when you're not. I mean, let's remember that I'm writing this in second person. So in second person, Maya is talking to herself. In this fic, Maya is observing Karina without being there, as if she was a ghost. Let's imagine that she was a ghost. She's a spirit, and she was watching all these things. and and this is what she's like projecting. So it's like, here is okay. Even when Maya wasn't there, it was hard for her to be there, and maybe that's exactly why it was hard. Yeah, like maybe because maybe, oh, this is badly written. Oh, maybe because that's the case. Yeah, maybe because she's not there, is that this is incredibly hard. And not only that she's not there, is that the version of Maya that used to be hers, that used to be Karina's, it is not there anymore. You know, that that version of Maya that used to smile with Karina, that laughs with Karina, that like gets excited when she sees her. That version is not there, because let's remember that in the series, and there was a moment in time where they uh, were not really talking, and when Maya saw Karina, it was a hate look. You know, she would look at her like, "What the hell are you doing here? Like, get out of here!" Like, it was awful. So, uh, Karina here is remembering, like, I mean, not Karina, but Maya is understanding that this is so difficult for Karina, because not only because she's not there, but because that version of her is not there. Okay, so then I pick up where the things that we wrote this morning. So that she picks up the supplies, goes to the barn, puts a happy face into, like, when she says hello to Maya's colleagues, that is Ben and Jack, that welcome her with a cup of coffee. But she's not all right. I mean, Maya knows she's not all right. And then there is something in the horizon line. So I added this of her life, like the horizon line of her life, because I don't know if you get this concept, but when you're drawing, you mark a horizon line to be able to get the perspective of the elements that you're going to draw, whether it's characters or landscapes, whatever. You draw a horizontal line. When you draw the horizontal line very high, it means that the perspective is looking down on the elements. I mean, like, if you set a horizon line incredibly high and your characters are small, are smaller, or are under it, better say, not smaller, but under the horizon line, you're gonna be watching them from above. So when you that the thing that I wanted to correlate here is that when you're depressed, when you're sad, your horizon line is very high. It's like drowning you. Okay. you your horizon line is above your head, above. It's like if you were underwater. All right, so your horizon line is above you, and everything is like heavy with you. It's like you're in water drowning because you're sad, and that this is the way you feel. So when your horizon line is higher than you, uh, it makes her eyes gravitate to her feet. I mean, she's looking down. She's not looking out, because the perspective of her life is not up, is down. All right, so that was like the metaphor. And I wanted to put here of her life because it's not the horizon line of everyone, it's just hers. I'm sorry for the coughing, really. Um, so I kept everything else. The only thing I did change is that I'm not using past tense. So I changed everything that was past tense to present. So I kept that, I kept everything like that. Okay, so here where I did write, like, you can hear your own voice. It's like when she gets the message, when Karina gets the message uh, of the voicemail that she left, and Maya was recognizing that she could hear her own voice as Karina was listening to that message. So that's why I wanted to put here also, because it's not that Maya remembers uh, hearing that. I mean, she doesn't remember leaving that message. Is that she hears that message along Karina. I mean, when Karina is listening to that, Maya is listening as well. So she realizes that her tone is hard, and as if she was mad. And that's something that I didn't put in before. I just put uh, your tone, comma. It was like you heard your own voice, your tone, and you understand why she squirms. But I wanted to add this and this because it gives it a little more information. It's less confusing. So it was like, okay, your tone is hard, as if you were mad, and you understand why she squirms. Uh, and then I didn't want to change this to present because I mean, this is in present. Mm, I think that I was gonna change it to past, whatever. I just remember that there was something with the tenses here. But yeah, I wanted to leave this as it was, like, you are too rough and she's too soft. Like, there's a contrast in the emotions in that moment. Like, Maya was desperate that day to get in touch with Karina. I mean, she couldn't sit down. She was walking here to there, and then she left this message that sounded way too aggressive for someone that was completely on the opposite side. It's like Karina walks very slow that day. Her movements are really like she's down, she's tired. Her eyes and her face is puffy. I mean, she's obviously like depressed. She's not in this hyper mood, and you can see the contrast there as well. As like, okay, Maya is too rough in her approaching, and Karina is still too soft, too delicate after what happened. She's too broken. Okay, so um this I wanted to add because we jumped from here to here is like you spend lying in bed. Oh, no, this was after actually. I moved this from down here to up here, but whatever. I wanted to add this because it's a nice transition. Because here we start changing is where we in this sort of paragraph is when we start changing um like the scenery is like okay until here and probably a little reference later is that you're in the clinic day at the station, but then you're gonna change that to the apartment. So here I just wanted to leave a little bit of like a hint of that, like okay, you're glad that she didn't fall after listening to it, to that message. I should put to you, maybe it's better after listening to you, but you wonder how she did it, how she functions when you can't. Because if you remember that day, also, it was like Maya spent her whole day in those, like, in that, in that, it wasn't a hoodie, it was a sweatshirt and very loose pants. And she spent the whole day in that. In fact, I mean, she spent all day since the morning in those. And when Karina got home, she was sleeping in those. She didn't even change clothes. So it's like, how can Karina function when Maya can't? And then, wait, I wanted to make sure that the mic was working because otherwise this was a mess. No, but it is working. It's fine. Okay, let me go back to it. All right. You spend days after coming home, and I wanted like you spend days lying in bed unable to move, but I wanted to make sure everybody got that when this happened. Like, okay, you spend days after coming home from the 5150. Obviously, I don't want to put here the 5150 because I think that um, if you follow the series, you know what time this is, and I'm gonna put it on the summary just to specify which time this is, so people know or what day it is, what episode it refers to. So you spend days after coming home laying in bed, unable to move. And then it is the whole thing with the Chinese restaurant. I left it. But I wanted to add a little bit more of things um, happening in the house, not just that, because I wanted to show the things that Maya has been going through. So I added this: if you weren't going to get out of bed, why make it in the mornings? If you weren't going to get out of your house, why change your clothes? Which is something I was referring to like a few minutes ago. Like you see Maya wearing the exact same clothes when she gets up and tries to meditate, and when she's in bed going to sleep. I mean, sleeping or trying to sleep at night, she hasn't changed her clothes. It's like, why are you gonna do these things if nothing's gonna change? If you're not gonna get out of bed, why would you make it? And if you're not gonna get out of your house, no one's gonna see you. Why do you want to change your clothes? So I wrote this thing of the shower before. So this actually comes like it closes the idea very nicely. It's like your shower missed you. You know this because once you were able to find your will to care for yourself, it welcomed you in its warm embrace, almost as if it was consoling you. So it's like, okay, you understand that these things, these little common things that you do every day. I mean, you stop doing them, and then in a moment you realize that you can do them again, and it's like it's very corny, is a very corny like metaphor or idea, but it's like when you finally start getting out of that depressed mood, um there are things that you start picking up, and sometimes these things feel like life is welcoming you back. They make you feel good, they make you feel free from that, uh dreading feeling that you had before. So for me, is usually, yeah, getting, like, when I'm uneasy or I'm too anxious or whatever, I give myself a warm shower, and it's like, okay, you release those tensions. So for me, it was like, um, it's like trying to convey that, like that thing, that common thing that you stop doing, and once you start doing it again, it gives you that life that you need, that energy. um and then obviously Maya wonders if Karina had done the same. I mean, if it had been the same for her. So here I had like, was it, what was it, wait, it was like, I think that I had here like, what was it exactly? I don't remember exactly, but it didn't fit anymore. It was like, it was like she did this, and since she's wondering, she's since Maya's wondering, is questioning something here. I wanted to keep questioning it here. So it's like, instead of what was before, I changed it to did she? Did she, like you, spend the days contemplating the rain through the window? Did she feel that impossible to invade the side of the bed you occupied? And here I just changed it a bit. I mean, I changed the order, and I changed a little bit of um of the paragraph, like messing up a little bit of the paragraph. So I kept the idea of what I wrote in the morning, but I just, uh, like, I rewrote it. It feels more cohesive this way. Okay, so I kept all of this, and then here I had a little problem that is like, um in here when I said, in picturing her right next to me while I washed my teeth. And then I said, in talking to her while I watch the news. But wash and watched, they sound very similar. So I changed it for I read the news. And I also wanted, like, it's not only when she's like scrolling through her phone reading the news, it's in her doing other things. Like, okay, she reached a moment in the process of healing in which she no longer was the favorite client of the Chinese restaurant because she only ordered food. She starts moving on from that, and she starts cooking. So it's like, while I read the news or cooked, here, while I read the news, in talking to her while I read the news. I think this has to be in the past. Wait. Uh, mm, mm, mm. No, no, no. This is fine. Okay, so, or I cook dinner and allowing my brain to hear, because here it was like, I I sort of wrote like, okay, in talking to her while I read the news and hearing, her voice responding in words of a language that I don't understand. So what I did, here was just to add this little bit, so you get the idea that she's starting to pick up on other things, she's starting to do other things. She's coming back to from only laying in her bed. And also here I wanted this because it's like Maya is wondering if Karina does the same, and if Karina, when she gets up in the morning in the hotel, uh talks to herself wishing that Maya was there answering to her. So, because this is what Maya does. Maya, wakes up in the morning and starts talking to no one. And in her brain, she can hear Karina responding in her voice and with, words that she never really understood because she didn't learn Italian. So, um, I added that. And then I added a big chunk of new things. Um, that is also another question. Like, okay, I did this, did she do the same? Is like, did what did it for her? What was it that took her out of that place so she can keep functioning after what happened? uh and then Maya, always, I mean, Maya is this sort of person that is very secure of herself, and she values a lot who she is, like, to the world. Like, she can be the best captain, she can be the gold medal winner, she can be this and she can be that, but I think inside a lot of the doubt that she has is like, am I good enough for Karina? Am I good enough for this person that she has idealized so much? So uh, she wonders a lot. She wonders um if if this person that is so wonderful and that's such light to her, that right now looks so broken, how how did she do it? And for Maya, it's very easy to go to that place of saying like, okay, she's better than you, she's better than me, you know. She says to herself, she is better than you, she can do this, and not that you can't, but she can do it better than you. And why she thinks that is because she sees it as like, even when Karina's heart is broken in a million pieces, she finds that light to continue to help others, like to go to the clinic and help her patients. And also at night, and here's where I transition to going to the apartment, is like to love you. I mean, she finds that light. So even when they're not doing well, when Maya is in her apartment and she's at the hotel, and because Maya has asked her to see her, uh, Karina finds that little thing that lets her show Maya that she still loves her. And here she just explains it. It's like, and she does when she walks through your apartment door at night, and you notice that she has missed you too, even when your presence scares her. Because if you see, when Karina gets to the apartment, she sort of like sees Maya in the hall and sort of freezes for a second, and then she sort of like, I gotta get my shampoo, and she goes straight and doesn't even look at Maya and goes straight to the bathroom, passing right aside Maya, and then comes right back without looking at her either. But she doesn't leave the apartment immediately. She goes to pick up her coats, but that gives her a chance to like breathe, and to not really face Maya, but to be there and to sort of like gather herself. I mean, she's doing this for Maya. She's still mad and everything, but even though she has these moments, and when you can see that she doesn't know if she's made the right choice by going there that night, um, she has the strength to do it because she loves Maya. So that's why I try to put here. Um, wait, where are we? I'm sorry. Um, so here's like, Karina was willing to give her, a minute to see her, but she also needed to take that minute to see Maya, and to show, I mean, to have to save that a different picture of Maya, not that picture that screamed at her in the hospital bed, and not that picture of Maya being in hooked to tubes and needles and screaming and all of that, and with her eyes dead because she was completely sick. uh, but she needed another picture in her mind to keep going. So it's not that Karina only goes for Maya to let her know that she, I mean, to let her see her, but she also goes to take that little like image of Maya not in that awful position that was the last time she saw her. So um I wanted to put that in just because I think it's important. And then here's like, you hear her steps as she walks away, because I wrote this in the morning and I liked it and I didn't want to let it go. That it was like, when you know someone and you listen to them get home every day, you know the rhythm of their steps. So when you're sad, you usually change the rhythm of how you move and how you behave. So you don't you don't walk as you would do when you're energetic and happy and practically skipping through life. You drag your feet and your steps are slower and everything changes. So I wanted here to convey that feeling, that thing that Maya recognizes is like she doesn't recognize Karina's steps as she walks away, as of a person that is having a normal life or has continued with her life without an issue. She noticed that Karina has that little thing has changed, and that still shows her that it's not that Karina has moved on from her. I mean, she's doing all these things and she's trying to live her life and continue with her life, but she's still not well. Um, and then I tried to come back, as I said, like on the other stream. It's like she tries to come back. Oh, Jack, you're here. Jack, estás aquí en el chat, güey. Oye, güey, me hubieras dicho que ibas a venir y solo hablaba en español. No, ¿por qué no me dijiste? No vi porque estoy en la laptop y en la laptop no puedo, no tengo dos pantallas, solo tengo una. Así que no puedo, güey, no puedo ver el chat. No he estado viendo el chat todo el tiempo. Perdón. Mana, ¿sigo hablando en español o en inglés? Qué gracioso, güey. Am, espera, voy a terminar de hablar esto en inglés y luego vuelvo si sigues. Y si no sigues, pues sigo en inglés, ya está. Ok. A Bob Ross. Puede ser, güey, puede ser. Deberíamos hacer un tipo Bob Ross cuando hagamos nuestro cómic. Así como. Y aquí dibujamos un árbol. Güey. Espera, voy a acabar esta parte y de ahí ya, porque voy a publicar ya. Pues luego si quieres habla en español. Okay. Now I can't speak in English because Jack is listening to me and I'm embarrassed. Okay. Um, so I wanted to come back here in the last two chapters to close the story. As I said on the previous stream, it's like I like to come back to the first idea I draw in the fic. That is like it was her puffy cheeks and the way she looked and all of that. And I wanted to close that up with this. It's like here is like it's her puffy cheeks. Like okay, it is different for me. For me, when you say it's and it is has a different intention. It's like more intention. Like when you say won't and or you say will not, or stuff like that. You change the way you're expressing the idea. One has way more emphasis and the other one is more like, for me, is more impersonal. um, but it carries more weight, and the other one is personal and can be used in dialogues because that's the way that people talk. But I don't really like think that when I'm narrating I should be using so much of this unless it's intentional or it sounds better. So in here it's fine when I say it's her puffy cheeks, but down here, wait, I went too far. Okay, it is her puffy cheeks, like it is, like you emphasize the is. It is her puffy cheeks and how she tried so hard not to cry. So here is just to close it up, and is knowing that Maya still sees her. I mean, she's still following her around, so she knows that Karina will cry in her car when she gets in her car after seeing her in her apartment, um, because she knows that she's also gonna cry when she realizes that the apartment has gone back to that silence that she doesn't like. But she also realizes that things are not well, but hopes that that night is like, and this also returns to this idea, like this idea that is like they have found a way, even without speaking about it, that if they sleep in each other's side of the bed, they connect. So here I also close with that. It's like one lays on one side of the bed as the other one lays in your side of the bed, and you hold each other in your hearts, until you find your way back. So that's how I ended it. And this is, let me see, this is 910 words, and I am gonna upload it as it is. And well, not as it is. I might just do another revision, just listening to it to see if um, every tense is correct, and I might pass it through another another grammar and spelling revision. So what I usually do, and let me just do it. If I have to correct it, I'll correct it later. What I usually do is this: I copy it completely, and I take it to let me. Yo aquí enseñando todo lo privado, Jack. Wait, what the hell? Okay. Um. So I have a file here that is usually empty, and in this empty file, yeah, don't laugh at me. In this empty file, uh, what I usually do is just paste it. And if you see, I mean, the Word has to be extremely well configured so the spell uh, checker works correctly. So I don't want to do that because it's insane, and then you mess up and then everything's a mess. So I don't want to do that. So I bring it here to Google Docs, and the spell check here is way better. So show me things, and if I think that I should change them, I will change them. It's something in the horizon life of her life that makes, yes, this is a mistake. Um, if you were going to get out of the bed, yeah. Why make it in the mornings? Yeah, that is a question mark. True. Okay. You know this because once you were able to find the well, yes. Um, did she like you spent? Yeah, this happens to me a lot. I put a did. I mean, I put a past tense and then I do double past tense all the freaking time. So I know this already, but it happens. Yeah. So I just go through each of these, and this is really difficult for me too. Like the in, on, at, those kill me. So yeah. Um, let's just see if this is what I wanted to do. Wait. I'm talking to her while I read the news or cook dinner, and yeah, and allow. That's okay. What did it for her? No, this is not something I wanted to see. It's like, but what did it for her, and not what did do it for her. No, I don't want that. In this case, this thing didn't understand what I wanted to do, so I just simply ignore it. Where were we? Yeah, on her. Yeah. So after I do that, I can copy this and just paste it on AO3. But right now I would have to open my AO3 account and do all of that. So I won't do that right now. But yeah. So Jack, viniste y no me dijiste, güey. ¿Qué andas haciendo? Cuéntame. ¿Entendiste algo de lo que dije? ¿Me entendiste, güey? ¿Hablé claro o hablé cerrado como Gil? Ah, estás leyéndolo. Si quieres lo traduzco y lo publico en español y en inglés, güey. Si quieres, si quieres te lo paso y te lo traduzco. Si quieres. Ana, pero sí me entendiste lo que hablé la otra vez. Bueno, no la otra vez, hoy en la mañana. Hice un stream muy en la mañana, como a las 8:30 de la mañana. Es el que no pudiste entrar porque luego lo corté por chill. Y, y luego lo volví a escuchar. Y cuando lo volví a escuchar, me di cuenta de que hablo muy cerrado. O sea, no vocalizo, güey. No vocalizo nada. Y nadie me entiende. O sea, yo no me entendía. Así que dudo que me entienda alguien más, pero bueno, ya está. Ya está. Y ahora estoy subiendo este. ¡Ay, ya se subió! Muy bien. Chama, estoy subiendo ¿cómo se llama? Los anteriores, los streams anteriores a YouTube, porque quiero que eventualmente me deje subir videos largos para poder subir el stream completo. Ahorita no me está dejando subir los streams completos porque, mira, aquí me dicen que están muy largos. Entonces no me los procesó y si no los subo a YouTube me va a tocar guardarlos en mi carpeta en la compu y cuando hago desde aquí pues no puedo. Así que ya no. Ah, ¿qué más, güey? ¿Quieres salir de stream y conversamos y llamamos? Porque de que ya no sé qué mostrar en el stream. O sea, ya tendría que publicar, pero la verdad es que me toca hacer una vaina nueva. Ah, ¿sigues con tu mamá? Pues ya nada. Ah, ¿cuándo regresas, güey? ¿No regresabas ya este fin de semana? ¿Hasta el miércoles? Ah, pues ya nada, güey. Hablaremos la próxima semana. Oh, no. Bueno, pero mejor para ti, güey. Te quedas ahí y estás con compañía y no solita en la casa. Lo cual está bueno. Oye, tengo que interactuar contigo, güey, porque eso me da cosas en mi, ya sabes. Ya nada, chama, yo creo que la próxima semana podríamos hablar o algo que sea, porque esta semana voy a estar a full, o sea, mira, yo tenía pensado escribir el fic este largo que voy a publicar en enero, 3 capítulos semanales y no voy a poder porque tengo un montón de trabajo, tengo un chingo de trabajo. Cayeron, a ver, tenía 2 trabajos en proceso y tengo que hacer 3 trabajos más en los últimos 3 meses del año, güey. O sea, bueno, empezando desde septiembre, octubre y noviembre. Y pues está muy culero, uf, pues no sé qué voy a hacer. Pero me va a tocar no escribir, o sea, voy a tener que dejar de escribir. 3 meses, 3 meses, eran 12 capítulos por mes, lo que significa 36 capítulos hasta el fin de año, que no voy a escribir. Estoy deprimida, güey. Bueno, vamos a esta vaina. Ah, Mana, ¿cómo mierda se hace esto? Perdonen las malas palabras. Ay, ya estoy hablando en español, ya. Ya, güey. Ah, ¿cómo que edit works? A ver, a ver, a ver. No, quiero postear un nuevo, ya. Todo esto va a ser. Abrí demasiado la ventana, ¿verdad? En este stream no puedo abrir demasiado la ventana porque se ve chistoso. El dragoncito, güey, no es mío, ojalá fuera mío, pero no es mío. Creo que puedo abrirlo hasta ahí. Ya. Am, Chava, yo quiero que me den mis propios muñequitos para poder dibujar unos chéveres. Pero no me dan, pero el dragoncito es el que más me gusta, así que pongo el dragoncito. Es bonito, güey. Chava, debería poner aquí una ventanita donde salga el chat en el stream para que salgas ahí hablando. ¿Cuánta gente necesito? Mira, tengo 6 followers ahorita. Creo que son 6 o 5, no sé. Necesito 50 para pasar al siguiente. Porque, bueno, necesito 50 y necesito eventualmente algún día tener 5 personas en el chat, güey, hablando al mismo tiempo. Entonces, bueno, eso no creo que sea tan difícil eventualmente porque podemos estar tú, Paco, yo. Entonces, como que, bueno, podemos ir sumando ahí. Ah, así que ofrezco. Pero la vaina de los 50 followers, uf, es bastante, güey. Es bastante. ¿Por qué no vienen? ¿Quiénes? ¿Quiénes vienen? Estas sucias traidoras. Ah, pues no sé. Mira, Day no va a venir porque ya me ha abandonado en esta travesía de este fandom. Me ha abandonado. Ya, Day, me has abandonado, güey. Y Haku no tiene trabajo ahora. Creo que Haku está trabajando, güey. Así que no sé. Haku solo tiene los domingos libres, güey. Y yo mañana no puedo porque porque mañana ya no, ni nos ama, sí es verdad, ya nos ama, ya no nos ama. Am, no sé, o sea, yo no puedo mañana porque tengo reunión familiar, ya sabes, cada 15 días. Generales, no hay ninguna cosa de estas. Fandoms, ah, ¿el fandom no es Station 19? Ya, ok. Station 19. Esta vaina, relaciones Maya Bishop, Reina de Luca, Maya Bishop, pucha madre. Maya Bishop y Karina de Luca, personajes Maya Bishop. Qué repetitivo es esto, debería sacarlo solo. Ah, vamos al Winkler, vamos al Winkler. Pero chama, yo no puedo escribir esta man porque no me gusta su personaje, no me gusta Wednesday. Por favor, un asesinato. Bueno, la man es lobo, o sea, vamos a hacer furras. Si nos vamos al Winkler, vamos a hacer furras. Bueno, no está muy flop, pero lo que sea. Ah, ya deberíamos hacernos una camiseta, somos burras. Claro, obvio, man, la man es hombre lobo, bueno, es mujer lobo, o sea, mana, somos furras y así nos vamos a Winkler, somos furras, no hay nada que hacer, tienes que aceptarlo. Chama, me he pasado viendo unas cosas, me he pasado viendo, la otra vez estaba, ¿te acuerdas el edit que le hice a Day por su cumpleaños hace casi 10 años, en el 2014, güey, de Jory, de JD yendo a pedirle matrimonio a Tori? La otra vez lo vi, tiene full views, tiene full views, es divertidísimo, lo malo es que está en mi otra cuenta. Chama, no sé, es que Wednesday. O sea, la Wednesday de la serie no me gusta. A mí me gusta el personaje de Wednesday. Pero ¿sabes qué personaje de Wednesday me gusta de las películas de la niña esa de la que también sale en la serie de profesora, de la mala? Se me fue el nombre. Bueno, de esta man. Esa Wednesday me gusta. Christina Ricci, sí. Esa Wednesday me gusta, pero la Wednesday de la serie no me gustó mucho. O sea, tal vez no me gusta cómo la manejaron. Tal vez me la vuelvo a ver, porque además como no me gustó la serie la primera que la vi, no la he vuelto a ver. Pero tal vez me enamoro volviéndola a ver, quién sabe, uno nunca sabe. Mana, ¿vas a escribir de Cruz o vas a hacer algo de Cruz? Cruz y qué es? Cruz y Alía, ¿cómo se llama ese fandom, güey? De las de Special Ops. Ah, bueno, pues sí, sí puedo, se puede. Pero furras, o sea, si yo me meto ahí, me toca declararme furra, güey. Si me meto en el Winkler, no, y lo peor es que yo no puedo hacer múltiples fandoms al mismo tiempo, no me puedo concentrar. Así que no sé. ¿Sabes que la otra vez me escribió un man? La otra vez me escribió un man por dejándome un comentario en el. ¿Te conté eso? Sí, creo que te conté. Que me dejó un comentario en un fic de Marina diciéndome tú eras la de Lost Soul en fanfiction.net y yo sí, sí, sí era. Y bueno, ya le dije que o la voy a traducir o la voy a empezar a subir en AO3, así como. Porque te acuerdas que íbamos a hacer el cómic de esa y al final no hicimos. Ay, mana, fanarts. A ti te quedarían full bien esos fanarts. Imagínate un póster. ¿Te acuerdas de ese dibujo que hiciste alguna vez? Que era como si las dos estuvieran acostadas, la una de un lado y la otra de otro lado. No voy a decir 69, pero ya lo dije. Pero no estaban haciendo nada, nada, nada pecaminoso. ¿Te acuerdas de ese? Mana, hazte uno de esos con Winkler. Y la cola puede ser así como largota, así, hasta que vaya hasta la Merlina, güey. Quedaría full lindo. Ay, hazlo, yo lo pinto. Hazlo, yo lo pinto, güey. Mana, sí. Yo lo pinto, yo lo pinto. Yo me comprometo. Me comprometo, me comprometo. En serio. Ah, ah, quedó grabado. No, sí, mana, sí, hagámoslo. Yo lo hago, yo lo hago. En serio, en serio, en serio, en serio. No, que sí, que yo lo hago. Yo lo pinto, güey. Yo lo pinto. Pero lo vas a dibujar. Pero tiene que quedar bello. Tiene que quedar bellísimo. Y yo lo pinto bellísimo. Mana, podemos pintarlo así como el lado de. Bueno, puede ser un contraste, como un yin y yang, ¿cachas? Entonces, el lado de la merlina puede ser en muy tonos negros, púrpuras, y luego se van mezclando con los colores de la otra man, tipo amarillos, naranjas, medio magentas del otro lado, y puede quedar muy lindo. Ya me lo imagino, ya me lo imagino. Man, hagámoslo. Yo digo sí. Yo digo sí, güey. Y luego le mandamos a hacer póster. Ya podemos poner en esta página, ¿cómo se llama? No me acuerdo cómo se llama la página esta. Tú subes los arts y ahí te hacen camisetas, te hacen rompecabezas, te hacen almohadones, te hacen chompas, te hacen de todo. Y claro, cuando alguien pide, a ti te pagan por el arte. Claro que sería difícil cobrar. Creo que para México es más fácil cobrar porque creo que ustedes tienen la vaina de los bancos. Pero yo, acá no hay ni lo del PayPal, así que. Pero bueno, podemos averiguar, güey, podemos averiguar. Y después con esa plata pagamos los cómics que vamos a hacer. $2. Ay, ¿qué más le pongo a esta pendejada, güey? ¿Qué más le pongo? Um, es que no es tan sad, o es sad. No está sad. Ay, solo voy a poner fluff ya. ¿Qué más puedo poner? No puedo poner nada más. Ya, ahí queda, 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 va. Entonces, el work title se va a llamar. Espera, lo voy a copiar porque luego yo soy muy mala escribiendo. Me falta de ortografía. ¿Qué dices? Algo de pobre. Ah, de tu fica anterior o de Black. No entendí la pregunta, no entendí la pregunta. Oye, pero pues esto de QJE, ¿qué es QJE? ¿De qué es? Esto de que estoy haciendo ahorita, este fic. No, es un one shot, man. Es un one shot, entonces aquí voy a poner series of one shots written on stream. Ah, ya, entonces voy a poner que el primero se llama, ¿cómo se llama? Se llama así. Ok, entonces se llama Dancing in the Burning Room. Y el otro es otro. Chama, mira, te voy a enseñar, mira, empecé a escribir en español, un fic para este fandom. Mira, ahí está en español. Pero no tengo mucho, ¿eh? Tengo nada. 544 palabras, no es nada. Pero es un fic, mira, te lo voy a ir contando mientras publico esta porquería. No, no, no es porquería, está lindo, está hermoso. No es porquería, no es porquería, es bellísimo. Es bello. Bueno, ya mientras publico este bello fic que escribí en stream. A ver, espérame, solo déjame poner. ah, ¿Por qué me pones cosas bonitas que yo no tengo, güey? Yo no tengo esas cosas bonitas, tengo solo feas. Mira, te voy a poner las que tengo, son horribles. Bueno, no son feas, feas, pero mira. Si no te pongo el dinosaurio, me toca poner ese LOL. Am, entonces, voy a poner aquí que son ficlets. Ay, y- ay, Dios mío. Am, ya, ¿qué más puedo poner en el sumario? Entonces, bueno, en el sumario puedo poner, ay, bien, ¿de qué se trata el primero, güey? Pero no sé, te quedan si los copias. ¿Cómo los voy a copiar? ¿Cómo los copio? No los puedo copiar. Ah, bueno, o sea, sí lo puedo copiar, güey, pero no se me queda. O sea, no me va a salir en la lista. A ver, a ver, a ver, a ver, veamos si. ¡Ah! ¡Sí me sale! Mándame cosas lindas. Mándame la Caitlyn. Mándame la Caitlyn. Espera. No, mándame la Caitlyn. La Caitlyn. A ver, mira, si yo le pongo. Mira, nos va a bloquear el bot. Por andar poniendo. La Caitlyn, la Caitlyn. Espera, espera, espera. Pero que no creo que se me quede hasta la próxima, hasta el próximo stream. ¿O sí? No creo. Bueno, hay unos que están en el. Hay algunos que están en. Mira, como este gay, pero este gay está muy feo. Ah, ese es el mismo, ajá. Sí, 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 es el mismo. Pues lo que yo puse gay. Sí, chama, esos también tengo. Esos sí tengo, esos sí tengo. Mm, no, man, debería tener aquí mi cuenta conectada de Prime para poder tener la suscripción de Prime y que me den iconitos de alguna otra cuenta, güey, whatever. Bueno, ¿de qué se trata este fic? Entonces, este fic trata de Maya observe Marina. Pero no es. Chama, ¿cómo puede explicar esto? A ver, ayuda, ayuda, ayuda. Mira, el fic trata de que el primer día que la man regresa al trabajo, después de que las dos se pelearon, tuvieron así su peleota y la una se fue al hotel y la otra se quedó en su departamento. El día que la man regresa al trabajo, la otra no está, está en su casa. Pero, mágicamente, por la magia de los fanfics, la man, la man ve todo lo que hace la man ese día. ¿Cómo? 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 ¿Cómo pongo eso en el resumen, güey? Ah, ya, solo voy a poner eso. Como sea. Maya se come un hongo. La puedo poner aquí, nadie lo va a entender. Maya se come, come un hongo. Bueno, yo lo dejo, me vale. Al principio. Ya, no es ningún challenge. No es ningún challenge elegir idioma. Casi pongo español. Work skin, la mía. No, la mía. Privacidad no me interesa. Digo que hay que pegar el fic. Entonces hay que seleccionar esto, cortar y pegar en HTML. No, en rich text. No, en HTML. No tengo nada en. No, creo que esto no va a funcionar, wait. En rich text, ya. No me pegó con espacios. ¿Por qué? Ah, porque no estaba en rich text. Ah, no me pegó con espacios. Esto no me gustó. Ay, no quiero hacer esto. Bueno, no tiene ninguna itálica ni nada, así que todo bien. Ujú, espérame. Borrar estilo, ok. Um, ya, qué lindo, qué bello, qué bello. Ya, no vino nada, ok, todo bien. Ya. Y de ahí solo postear, ¿no es cierto? Ya pusimos los tags, ya pusimos todo eso, ajá, sí, ver. Aquí no hay no hay una parte que diga cómo se llama el primer capítulo. Siempre es la misma vaina. El primer capítulo no tiene nombre, güey. Bueno, ya está. Postear, ya está posteado. Qué lindo, qué bello. Ya luego si me toca cambiarlo, pues lo cambio. Ya está. A ver, espérame. Regreso al chat porque si no, no te veo, güey. Pasa una tremenda cara. O sea, básicamente sí. Chama, sí, el Heimerdinger también lo tengo. Man, ese bebé. Mana, yo también yo voy a cortar el coso este porque ya acabé de hacer lo que tenía que hacer. Entonces no tiene sentido que esté aquí. Em, ya nadie ve esto moverse, así que es como nadie lo ve moverse. Todo el mundo piensa que no estoy aquí. Ah, bueno, mana, hablaremos la próxima semana. Em, no sé si mañana vayamos a ver peli, pero si tienes chance, pues vemos peli. Y si no tienes chance, pues ni modo. La próxima semana. Eh, ahí hablamos cualquier cosa y hablamos por WhatsApp. Bye, Jack. Adiós. Voy a poner la cosita de que se acabó el stream. Y ya, mira que escribí mal mi propio nombre, Mint Blue Neon, y no le puse la E de Blue, pero ya nada. Bye, chama, ya hablamos. Adiós.